All right, and we're rolling. I'm here today again with Ethan Sherry.
Good to see you. Same
right.
flannel, same guy.
Yeah. Well, you're basically dressed exactly the same as the last podcast. So, and then if I had my jacket on, I basically people probably couldn't tell. It's like a different episode. Yeah, man, how are you feeling right now? We had a big night last night.
Yeah, not bad.
Drinking some coffee here to sober up here.
Got to tour the skeleton of Kaks.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's amazing. This looks awesome. I like the setup. Just kind of way like the flow goes. It's amazing. Podcast room is huge.
Yeah,
but it's sick. It's sick. I mean, like you can rent it out, I believe, and everything like that. So, I mean, I think it's a good space to have. Honestly,
sweet man. Thanks for that. Thanks for the positive feedback there. A bar update. I know we said we'd open like beginning of April here. It looks like it's gonna be middle of April. It's pretty touch and go right now. It's construction permits, liquor license, the whole shebang. Like one step follows the other. So you can't apply for a liquor license until construction's fully complete. You can't get your business license till construction's fully complete. Can't get your internet in there till construction's fully complete. Complete. I mean, our contractor is an awesome guy. Like Simon, like props. Thank you for everything you're doing. We understand. I mean, just shit happens and it's a little bit of delays, but it will happen eventually, people. Eventually.
Oh, yeah. Real soon.
Yeah, sure. Man. Oh God. Yeah. But Ethan, I mean, last night I don't drink nearly as much as I used to right now. So it's just like a couple beers there. It gets me pretty buzzed. And then now that I'm getting older too, like the hangovers are kind of like lasting longer and longer or whatever. But
well, we had a couple shots at the end there. I had a couple shots, a couple Burt Reynolds. You know, you can't go wrong with that.
We had a lousy photo shoot. We were trying to do some photos for the bar as well, but my photos turned out so bad that we're gonna have to redo it.
It was because it was so dark or something. Or?
No, man, it was the lighting. The lighting literally, like we had Kyle come out and the lighting it just like pulled my face back. Because the like certain lighting it will take away the angles. Yeah. So then I look fatter. I look fat and bald in the photo. Okay. I look like actually Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
Like when he was in his human form or whatever. I literally look like I'm 60 years old.
Could be worse though. Could be worse.
Well, it was. I don't want it to be worse than that. Fair. Yeah. So we'll have to redo those photos there. Fuck, man. Anyway, man, so what's new with you right now? Again, you're last I spoke to you, I think even last night too. My memory's a little bit hazy.
A little hazy.
Yeah. You're still running your you're still on the day side, like building websites and things like that, right?
Yeah, just design side. So front end development. So it's kind of like just designing, and then back end's more the coding, right? Mm-hmm. So I have an idea of how to do the coding, but I'm not a professional at it by any means.
Is that long term? Is that what you're planning on doing? Like just getting into?
Yeah, at some point in my life, I feel like I'll take it more seriously. Right now, it's slow. Well, it's slow due to me, my work ethic, doing it and stuff like that. I could, if I took it seriously, it would help me a lot. And if I'm just young right now and living. Right. Bartending, drinking, going out, eating.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. Like, are you enjoying yourself in that lifestyle method?
Yeah, of course. So I think where I'm at right now, like kitchen and bar, it's a lot better in a way. Like if you don't want to get off at like 5 a.m. in the morning after weighing a bunch of bottles and cleaning up after a night at the club, this is kind of just more relaxed, I guess. Money's obviously not as good because like you're not getting 1,000 people in buying drinks left, right, and center, but it's still good. Good people. I work with good people, and other than that, I can't complain. There's no complaints.
Yeah, but yesterday I think we were talking a little bit about not like I'm gonna be more selective on what I reveal here or whatever, because we had some pretty cool private conversations yesterday. Got to know Ethan even more. But right now you're saying that a certain relative of yours thinks that you should be way more successful at this point in your life, right? Yeah. And then I obviously had a different take on the whole thing. I was like, does this guy expect you to be like some kind of like multi-millionaire by the time you're 23? And right now, I guess what I'm trying to ask you is like, do you have a hunger for success, or are you more just like hanging out right now, enjoying your being young, know?
Yeah. I understand that for sure. I mean, like, yes, I do have a hunger for success. You see other people my age and their business is booming, right? They got money, they're still partying, they're traveling, but they're still making lots of money. And like, you know, at the same time, I'm like, yeah, could I do it? Like if I put the right work ethic into it, yeah. But like,
What are some of these buddies of yours that are like? What are some of the businesses that they're doing at 23 here?
right now it's a lot of it came from TikTok.
Okay.
You know, it's not making money on TikTok. It's basically like links in their bio that will, you know, every click or everything like that will give them money. And then, you know, it's kind of like a marketing agency.
Okay, how does
kind
that
of
work again? Can you explain that? What do you mean? What do you mean off their TikTok videos when you click it, they get paid? Like,
Yeah. So like, yes, they'll say like this video is sponsored by this. Not really. Like kind of like if you click the link in my bio and download this app or like sign up for this, you'll get this advantage or that advantage. Or it's kind of like, you know how there's an app that took a picture of you and it like turns you into like an AI like art piece.
okay,
Right. And like kind of like that. So like if you downloaded that app off of their link, you
yeah,
know, it's kind of like Amazon when you're doing Amazon FB or something like that, where if someone uses the link to buy that thing off of Amazon, you make money, like commission kind of deal.
huh?
So it's kind of like that for sure.
Okay, and they're kicking some serious ass in this.
Oh yeah. They just started doing Snapchat sticks. There's actually Snapchat shows right now that
Are these women? I'm just asking.
no, these two guys actually.
Man, because I would imagine like a lot of girls have like massive advantages off TikTok right now, because if you're super hot,
Yeah.
you know you're getting those scrolls, and then you just link that to that, you know, like what you were just saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like right now I'm noticing a trend too. It's like there's a lot of interestingly successful young entrepreneurs coming up, but I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say is, what are they providing? You know what I mean? Other than a cycle of I don't want to call it nonsense, but this is like Cass and I were talking about this the other day. It's like before when you're, let's go back a couple hundred years, right? Capitalism kicks in.
Yeah.
You want to create a product or service that people use, right? And then that tangible product or whatever change is good for people. It's good for humanity, right?
Yeah.
But like, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, do you think something like TikTok is like good or bad? Because you're making videos, yeah. So it's a form of entertainment per se.
Yeah.
But what does that thing do as far as increase someone's skills or perspectives on things or maturing them? Or I don't know. You kind of get what I'm asking? Because right now, I noticed there's money being made out of like nothing that doesn't really create something better per se, you know? Maybe it sounds like I'm bashing on TikTok, which I'm not, because like we have a TikTok account as well. But just trying to get a perspective. I'm trying to get a handle on where this trajectory is going, because I don't think ultimately it's a good thing per se, because you might just have a whole generation of people with not that much skills. Yes, they have skills on using TikTok, like the apps, but like, what are their skills? Like, other than you know, kind of know what I mean? Like, what's your opinion? You're a young guy, man.
Well, you know, like right now I'm on this tangent of like watching these videos of like it's apartment videos. I miss living alone right now. I live with the parents. But no, I watch a lot of apartment videos because this year, like hopefully in the next 18 months, my mortgage specialist said that the market will get better. Who knows? Because prime rate right now for a house is like 6%, and even if you buy like a $500,000 apartment, you're paying like close to $900,000 for that thing. So that's why. Also, that brings me back to like, my dad thinks I should be farther, but like when he wanted to buy a house, houses were like $200,000, like a whole ass house, detached and everything, garage in the back.
Right.
So it was a little bit easier, because even now the car market as well, prime rates, perfect credit score, prime rates like 8.99, 9%.
It's not sustainable now. Like for young people to be able to even have a chance. Like it's like, so without some assistance from your folks, there's no way. Like just mathematically, there's no real way.
Yeah.
So you just roll, like a moment ago there being like, oh, I live at home. It's like, where else are you gonna live right now? You know, like it's everything so whatever, it's just unsustainable, as I said a moment ago. You know,
it's gonna be hard for the generations to come for sure. But
are you worried about that then, or?
No, like I know that at some point, like there's always been like a crisis, like a financial crisis. Like when was the last one? I don't know. There's a big fucking whole shabam where like the same thing kind of happened, hunger strikes and all that stuff, right? It wasn't that long ago if you really put it into perspective.
Mhm.
And this kind of same thing. It's just like a housing crisis, but like, at the same time, it's a good time to buy a house, but at the same time, it's not,
Mhm.
right? You'd have to talk to a mortgage specialist on that too. I haven't talked to mine recently, but do have a lot of friends that are like real estate agents.
Mhm.
A lot of houses are being bought right now. It's just I feel like the interest rates are really gonna tear down some people for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I think what will happen too is naturally people will flow to where areas they can afford, right?
Yeah.
So probably smaller towns will start to grow into bigger cities.
Yeah.
But then these bigger cities that are relying on this population, like gradual population increase,
Yeah.
they're just gonna have people come out, and then you have these empty homes and
Yeah.
everything like that. But right now, I don't know. It's like because I hear there's a lot of mental health issues with younger people. And my logic right now and is that, well, it's because they don't have deep down there's that bit of a maybe like a self-esteem issue, because you're like, man, I do live with my parents when you don't want to, but if you can't move out,
Yeah.
then you're
Yeah.
kind of stuck. And then if the game, if you will, doesn't really allow you to have a more traditional approach where you can have a chance of success,
Yeah.
right? Then what are people left with other than kind of feeling bummed out all the time or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's like that mental stigma that, are put into young people's brains, like, or like it's just how parents grew up, or like, how their generation grew up, how it's very easy for that. Well, not easy. I'm not gonna say it's easy. No, growing up is not easy for everyone, right? Even like back in the day when my dad grew up, it's just a lot different. So, once that, like, because I know when I'm a dad, I'm gonna say the exact same thing, like, oh, it's so hard growing up, and like my kids, they would have their own problems, like it's just like every generation is gonna have their own problems growing up, and I don't think if my dad's pushing me, right, or something like that, it's just because he wants what's best, and from his tradition or from how he grew up, that's kind of how he thinks it should happen, which is okay.
Yeah, I think this topic here is like is just an interesting one to me, because whenever I hear of young people having a whatever they don't feel that great mental health or whatever, because they don't feel they can get ahead. My mind also thinks like, but every person who's been super successful, they found a way through it, right? And then now what I'm trying to say is, like, you see all these people discovering making TikTok videos, right? But so this is just a natural flow of life. Like a different skill will have to emerge out of nowhere to create money, so that you have a chance to, like whatever, be on your own or whatever, and be on your own 2 feet. Or maybe societally, people just need to change the cultural norm, because if you go to like Hong Kong, like people live at home all the time. No one's making fun of no one for that. So over here, I think there needs to be a change here, or I don't know, or maybe at the same time, people need to not need to, but it's a challenge, right? Because if you could find a way to be successful when trying to buy a house $900,000 at 23, that's pushing your mind to try to create something for yourself, right? Which is, I guess, in the end, the whole idea of in a way, the way I understand it, like that is like kind of capitalism. Like you create these circumstances that force you, because it's competition, and then that forces you to be more innovative, to try to create things. But at the same time, I have a mixed opinions on it, because I also feel like we're developing a lot of useless skills per se that aren't,
Yeah, well, it brings me back to, like, I'm on this thing where I love watching like TikTok, like apartment moving videos, or like there's like this guy, like he just has a nice apartment and he's like cleaning. He has a Dyson vacuum, and then under it is like a paid partnership. So like that's another example of how people make money, right? You're using their product on your video. You have this many followers. This many people are gonna see it. I'm paying you this much because you are advertising my product well, right? Because when you have a paid sponsorship from a product, you send them the video first, and then they kind of like say how much money they would give you if you posted it, right?
Okay. Yeah. I'm not against any of this. I might be doing it myself. I just know I just know right now, the more or less, the more I reflect on how things were and where the direction things are going.
Yeah.
It's just like we're definitely creating almost like a super fictional society. You know what I mean? Like everyone's an actor, kind of, right?
Yeah.
And then everyone's just kind of making money and off of this like social media, like mystique, if you will. But again, like if tomorrow, say, the post-apocalyptic bullshit happens, like which of us can even like survive, right? You know, because who knows how to start a fire? Who knows how to do this, right?
No, I've been running into a lot of people that have never camped in their life lately. I'm like, what? You've never camped before? It's weird. You've
Honestly,
camped before?
I've camped before, but I'm not a big camper.
Not a big camper?
No. You like you're a big camper?
I love camping.
Okay, sweet. So would you have a lot of survival skills, would you say? Like
starting a fire, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, like
from scratch?
Yeah, from scratch, honestly. If you have the right stuff, and like if you're out in the woods, I mean, like, I don't know how you get there in the first place. You should have like a survival kit on you if you're just out in the middle of nowhere. Like, you know, Crown Land, there's what do you call it? What's the Crown Land that's really close here that everyone goes to? I forgot what it's called. Anyway, whatever. If you're there, like, there's people all around you, so really there's no real need for a survival kit at that point. But like, say you're just you're in the bush somewhere deep, and you just put yourself there without the necessities to survive, at least. I mean, like, it's your fault.
You know, I think this is your white side kicking in because like a lot of Asians don't camp. That's just not what we do. You know.
I mean, I know a lot of Asians that camp. They like camping. You know.
Okay.
Brewskis. They usually, their version of camping is usually have like a trailer or like something like that. But still, you know, you're out in the wilderness.
But you got to kind of admit most camping is white people.
Yeah, a lot of white people.
Yeah, like I mean, like black people aren't big into camping from the most part. You know, like I mean, I like when you hear of camping all the time, it's like. It's like I don't know. It's primarily just white people.
Yeah.
Like why do you think that is? What do you think that is?
I don't know. I feel like just because they're, you know, some people are just crazy. You know, like I went cliff jumping with my friends. It's like a 40-foot cliff or something like that. Nothing too crazy though. Like
is it Ghost Lake or whatever?
No, this is it's kind of like Ghost Lake, but what's it called? I forget. I'm just brain farting everywhere. I have pictures on my phone where it is, but
we're both hungover as fuck. That's
yeah, absolutely. It's but no, like cliff jumping, and it was all white guys. It was 10 white guys cliff jumping into some cold ass water, and there was not one. I was the only half Asian there, or Asian at all. So it's pretty funny. Like, now that you point that out, all the white people do crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, just even when you reflect on history, it's the Europeans that got on boats to explore the rest of the world, right? And take that chance to just go into the unknown. Like, you know, for every X amount of ships that sailed, X amount of them aren't coming back. And yet they took the risk to go do that. And again, I don't know where that comes from, because I'm not saying every nationality is not risk taking. They all have their cool backstory, right?
Like Moana.
Sorry?
Like Moana. You know,
I've never actually seen Moana. I know what Moana is, but
that's a good movie. It's a good movie, because that's how they grew up too. Like, hey, they're going, like, they're sailboating in little tiny boats, across the ocean. I'm like, what? Maybe like they did have the big ships as well, but like when she did it, it was just in like a small little canoe, basically with a. You know,
Moana's not real, right?
hey, I bet you the stories are real. The stories gotta be real.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I'm not saying never. Like, you know, there's been tons of like I was watching Joe Rogan this morning, and Jorge Masvidal was on, right? The pro fighter.
Yeah.
Love Jorge Masvidal, and Masvidal's dad was he escaped Cuba's communist situation. Yeah. When he was 14, like with a tractor tire, from what I understand.
With a tractor tire.
Yeah, that's what they use as a boat to risk floating from Cuba to try to hit the U.S. And and so I mean, I'm not saying people aren't ballsy or whatever, but I'm just saying historically, as far as we can tell, it's primarily Europeans that roll into the unknown that crazily, if you will, like the most risk taking in that sense, because it seems like almost every other culture, for the most part, they're more nested in their regions, you know. And then I notice even with myself, like I mean, like I only went camping because I had white friends that were like, let's go camping, right? But growing up, like I never felt the inclination to go camping. I felt more inclined to fortify my home, if you will.
Yeah.
You
Fair
know,
enough, yeah.
yeah, like I even noticed for the most part, like Asians don't move around a bunch, right?
Yeah.
But then white people will move like 10 times in 1
Yeah,
year,
fair.
you know.
You know, what would you rather? Like a hotel in Banff, not that nice, no pool or anything. You're just in a hotel in Banff, or would you, go camping with friends? Have a couple of brewskis. You're beside the lake or river.
I went camping more because it was a party, you know.
Yeah, the
If
party.
if it's not a
party
party, I like. I hate to say it, like people get this. Hey man, I felt so spiritual out there in the woods,
Oh,
and
no,
blah blah
no.
blah.
That's
you
not-
know,
that's not
and
what
like I
happens.
felt so at peace. I felt more like I'm touching into my inner my inner ways or whatever. I'm like, I don't get any of that. I just feel like like it's just like you just made everything harder for yourself.
Yeah,
Basically, I'm gonna make everything harder for myself for the weekend.
yeah.
Which whatever. There's some reward to that. Obviously, starting a fire and cooking like a burger over like a fire or whatever. Like pretty rad, right? But at the same time, like I feel like I don't know. I just like I get my leisure from doing shit like this. You know, like working on my business, doing this, hitting the gym, like you know. So I don't know. But it's something I've definitely noticed. But you having the advantage of a two racial mix, so it's kind of like like fascinating, right?
But actually, my mom's the Asian one, right? And she actually camps like 10 times every summer.
Is this something she's done her whole life, or is it more like a recent thing?
Yeah, whole life.
Okay, so then I stand corrected, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for the most part,
she's
right?
camped more than my dad.
Okay,
My dad actually has a trailer. My mom loves tents,
yeah,
and doing that kind of stuff. My dad has a trailer he bought, like a tow behind trailer on his truck.
Man, that's so ironic because your dad was the one who's the white guy, and he was the one who kind of like was being an Asian parent with his expectations.
I mean,
like,
he has a
Ethan,
type.
why
Obviously,
aren't you a lawyer yet? Kind of thing, you know.
He has a type, My stepmom's Asian, Chinese as well.
Oh, no way.
So I think I don't know if he wanted a trailer or if it was kind of like she wants a trailer to go camping because he liked camping, or like I know that her sister, my stepmom's sister, same thing. She's Chinese, and then her husband's white. Right? They have a trailer as well, and I think the reason my dad got the trailer is because they had a trailer, and they wanted to go camping together. So now every summer they go do a couple trailer camp sessions.
All right.
I mean, so I don't know. I don't know what.
Do you? But when you go camping, like obviously, like are you like taking mushrooms out there too and stuff? Like
no, it's just me, some beers, the boys, some ladies there, but like so probably girlfriends and everything like that. But usually I just go there. I'm just drinking. That's camping is not camping for at least me. If you're not like drinking with friends, you're still you're basically doing all the same things at a house party, but you're just doing it outside in the wilderness.
Yes. Yeah, no. Well, I agree. That's the reason why I went as well. But as I get older, I'm like I don't have that desire, But I also feel like maybe I should develop that desire because there's got to be more to it. If all these awesome people that I know are into it, like there must, unless my mind is just closed off, and I'm always looking to improve and try to expand myself, things like that. But I don't know. Maybe you should take me camping.
Yeah, camping, absolutely. I'll take you camping. It's not the
okay, but hold on. I got a quick question. Like when you say you have a trailer, though, your dad, like how equipped is it? Because again, if you're just
I've never slept in that thing. I mean, like, would I ever borrow it? Probably not. Because usually when I camp, I either sleep in my car or I sleep in a tent. I like that. Like I waking up when it's freezing cold, but you're warm because you have a bunch of blankets. Usually when I had my Subaru hatchback, just put the front seats all the way forward, then put the back seats down, and you just have a whole ass bed in the back. Like it's warm. So I mean, like I've never used the trailer, but
how do you feel about those people that they're basically not really camping, right? Like they have like like they're so set up with the TV and internet.
It's like an RV,
there.
like the RV.
Yeah, like that, dude. That's not camping. Yeah, you just drove somewhere.
Yeah,
but you're
living
at
home.
Yeah,
it's like a mobile home.
Yeah, I think they call it glamping or whatever.
Yeah,
like glamour camping or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, do you respect that shit?
I mean, it's all right. I mean, like you're still there. Would it like? There's places I've been to or camped where I know an RV wouldn't be able to make it to, so there's no glamping happening there. But if you had like a off-road trailer, you could make it there. But other than that, glamping, like there's a space, there's a a time and a place for that stuff, because if you can't make it in with your
maybe
RV,
when you're old and retired or something.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go to a trailer park or a trailer camping site, rent a spot, and then just back the trailer in.
Man, I do feel like people who don't camp like myself, like you're not fulfilling your full human potential. I do have that guilt. Like that's what I've been trying to get to. Sorry, I've been talking in circles. My brain was trying to formulate like what am I trying to get to here? The thing I'm trying to get to about the camping issue is like there is this guilt if you don't do it, because you feel like as a like all your ancestors essentially camped, like they made it through, like especially the ones who were the frontier people that like made North America what it is, like they're able to like survive in the wilderness, right? And that's what humans have done forever. So the fact that we're not like, we should be naturally inclined to like want to do that too, right?
Well, I think that what throws a lot of people off about camping is the bathroom situation.
Yes, please. Yes.
You know, they don't want to take a shit like leaned up against a tree. They don't want to do that. They don't want to have the toilet paper hanging off a branch. Like, for a guy peeing, like, he could be anywhere really, honestly. But I think it's the whole, if you need a launch a number 2, launch a little sea pickle. I mean, I think a lot of people have a little problem having the digesting that problem there.
Well, the times I went camping, again, it's it's at campsite, so I go to the outhouse or whatever. But even that, it throws people off.
Even the outhouse, gross, man. Those things are fucking disgusting.
When I was in so I went to Vietnam right before the pandemic, and we did this cave expedition. That was actually the highlight of the trip. Like we bounced around some hostels as well. Shout out to Vietnam backpackers hostel. Like they have a cool program there. They have ones in all the major cities, and kind of gives you like itinerary to make it to each one, and along the way adventure. But this camping thing, this cave thing, we had to hike in a national park in Vietnam to this campsite, this cave site. And then when you go in, the cave is like huge. Like we're talking about, imagine if this is a cave, the cave, like you're this tall. Really? Okay. So like it's one of the, I forget what it's called too, but I remember you
slept in that thing?
So it was set up with tents at the site already. You just have to make the hike with your group. Yeah. And but when it came to the shitting situation, what they ended up having was the people, the Vietnamese workers they accompanied you. They carried like sacks of like cut up wood and everything.
They followed you?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They washed you poop?
No. They don't watch you poop, but they carried all the bathroom shit. That was their job. You had the tour guide.
The bathroom guys?
Yeah. Then you had like 4 dudes that just walk with the crew of tourists or whatever, and then they'll filter your water out in the river. They will carry like these sacks of compost. Yeah. Sorry. And I just remember
you have to poop into the sack or something.
You poop into this, like they made an outhouse essentially out there, right? So it's just they had a toilet seat on top of a big bucket. Okay. And then the big bucket obviously is full of shit. Yeah. Okay. And then but then you have another bucket full of compost. Yeah. So you shit into that one bucket. Okay. Then you have to take your compost, put it on top, right? And then later on when they're cleaning up, those guys were carrying buckets of shit.
Yeah, that's their job.
Yeah.
That was their job.
Yeah. And you're right. Like that one thing kind of throws a lot of people off. There's no shame in it. We're humans. We all need to take a shit, Exactly. But but obviously, when I remember reading that was going to be the setup. And then when we did it, because I obviously had to shit, So I shot once a day and that trip was like what, 3 days, 2 nights, I think, in 2 nights in that cave. Yeah. It was super cool too. Like, but it didn't help at the time where we saw bats everywhere in this cave.
Yeah, there's bats too.
Oh yeah, dude. Like it's a huge cave with all these bats, and
were they flying around too?
At night you can hear them flying near the top, and we were told for sure, like, there's no disease. There might be diseases, but just basically just don't get bit by a bat, right? Yeah. Yeah. This is Vietnam too. Like there, like a lot of rules are very loose over there. Yeah. Like, but anyway, it's trippy because obviously COVID happened right after. Yeah. And the bat. And then so
the I bat remember. Story.
Yeah. Like I came back to Canada when COVID first hit.
So you got back right in time.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it was already chaos there in Vietnam when even at the airport. At that point, people were masking and no one knew what the hell was going on, right? And then when you heard like down the grapevine that it's transmitted through bats, and then me and my buddy, well, it was Kyle, like we were just kind of like, Oh man, we were in a
Really?
cave full of fucking bats.
Holy shit. That's funny. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's from eating it, isn't it? I thought it was eating the bats.
Well, South Park was because they fucked the bat, but
Fuck the bat. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think that happened.
Yeah.
That's
Do you watch South Park at all?
I did. I haven't watched it for a while, so like new episodes I haven't. I did play the game that they had, the South Park game.
Yeah, the truth
Yeah,
stick.
yeah.
I forget what the
Truth,
title was or
I
whatever.
forgot it too, but it was a
Yeah.
good game. It was a fun game, funny, very
Mhm.
funny game actually.
Yeah.
You know, all the typical South Park humor. But,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't watched any recent episodes, not for like at least a year.
Oh
for
man,
sure.
dude, I love South Park. It's I watch that show like
Yeah.
religiously, and that show is just so smart. They let you know exactly what's going on, current events and whatnot. You know, like the most recent one was about Chat GDP or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
ChatGPT. Yeah,
GPT,
yeah.
GPT or whatever. I don't know. Sorry, man. I was trying to finish my train of thought on
The bats.
the Vietnam story and the camping.
Camping.
But
Pooping.
yeah. Anyway,
Someone carrying your poop out.
yeah, dude. Like, there's just something about all that, I guess, and like for most people, it like throws them off, and then they're and, they don't want to go camping or whatever.
That's the only reason, usually.
Yeah, especially girls, I would say, right?
The girls are like, where am I gonna shower? I'm like, no, don't shower.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I mean, I personally I like, how often do you shower? Do you do body showers every day?
I shower every day. Yeah.
You shower every day?
Yeah. Not super hardcore, but
Yeah.
like I'll rinse off,
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like when you go camping, you go with a bunch of girls too. It sounds like, right? Yeah. Like, do they like?
No.
Like, what happens when they have to shit? Do they all go off as a pack and like?
Yeah, they just go off. In fact, they probably, I don't know if they hold hands or anything. I don't think they do that, but I think they all like take a a vote and they're like, oh, we all need a poop, and then they go find a little patch and then do a little poop.
Okay, man. Hey, this is kind of a dumb question, but like, what do you just you poop obviously in the woods, right? So there's human poop out there.
Yeah.
And then with the toilet paper situation, you just throw it on top, like, or you just leave it.
Yeah,
Like,
usually. So what I do, just save the environment a little bit. Dig a hole. Not really. Not a big hole. You just kind of you bring your little camping shovel.
Yeah.
Dig a little hole beside a tree. Then after you're done wiping, you put all of it in the hole, and then you just
cover it with
you
dirt or
bury it.
whatever.
Just like it's either like I don't know if it's like the scent reason for like animals. I just know it's just like so it probably like composts better or like breaks down faster. I
Man,
guess.
yeah, no, yeah, to all my buddies there that go camping, yeah, I sound like a real fucking like unadventurous guy or whatever, but I don't know, man, it just is what it is. It just I mean, it's like fucking pooping's gross, man.
It is. It is gross.
So do that, and then like obviously like you're not even washing your hands.
Oh no. You bring after you like when you're done all that stuff, like when I go camping, yeah. So we have like a 4-liter jug of water that there's soap beside it. You can just wash your hands. Like camping's not gross as long as you bring the stuff. So like you bring something to wash your hands. You bring sanitizer.
Okay,
you
but
bring soap.
do you kind of get what I mean by it's like you're just making everything hard for yourself? You just went out to somewhere to make everything hard for yourself.
No, like it's because like if you know what you need
Mhm.
and you have everything you need,
Yeah.
then are you really making it hard for yourself? Because you're camping. Yes, you have to do all your business outside, but
Yeah.
if you have the things to wash and then you just go back and have a couple more beers, and then like you're drunk, are you really gonna notice you're out in the wilderness when you're drunk?
That is true.
Drunk. You're keg standing. You're in the river. You're fucking skinny dipping in the river where it's like negative like 1 in the water. It's crazy. Lots of.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah. What,
You've never skinny dipped in the?
Oh no,
river?
I've skinny dipped in a couple different lakes, but I was just thinking to myself, like it's like because I mean, just back in the day, it's like I'm just trying to have more of an understanding of how people did things back in the day. Like because back in the day there's no toilet paper, right? So if you shat out there and say you had a bad diet or whatever, you had some bad berries or whatever, like obviously you need to clean yourself. So the logical move is to jump into a river, so then like, but that same river, it's like now how many people have been doing that? And if we talk about packs of tribes of humans traveling together, like things must have gotten very, very unsanitary, very fast. And then,
on South Park, there was an episode where, I don't know, apparently only 30% of the people in the world use toilet paper.
Yeah, that's the most recent
Did
one.
you know,
Yeah.
Did you know that? 30% of the people. And then the rest, I do have a bidet on my toilet.
Sweet.
Like it didn't come with a toilet. It's actually like one of the ones you get like from, is it like Bath and Beyond or something? something like that.
Mhm.
Bed Bath and Beyond, where like it's the toilet seat has the bidet on it, and then you just put it on the toilet seat connected to the water.
Yeah.
And then there's a bidet.
So
apparently, yeah. So I don't know. I've used it like once, but there's like a front and a back spray, and it didn't go well the first time I used it. So I don't know. I just went back to toilet paper.
the toilet paper thing though, like, did you watch that? You watched that South Park story, right? Like,
I saw a video, a
okay,
snippet.
you should watch that episode because they raised a good point. Like truly, if you want to save trees and this and that, you would develop the lifestyle of just using water to wash your ass or whatever, but the reason why they couldn't do that in South Park in the end, because in that episode, spoilers if you didn't see it, Randy Marsh, he ends up trying to tell everyone to go get bidets because he's like, this is so good for the environment, blah blah blah. But then they didn't realize that essentially toilet paper companies, because they make so much money off of people needing to use toilet paper, like they are like at the criminal, like they're like masterminds behind the scene, like all controlling the economy because they have so much money.
Yeah.
So it's like the companies that make things happen is not what you think. It's not your oil and gas company. It's not like this. It's a toilet paper company.
Yeah.
So then they end up kind of like assassinating, like trying to assassinate Randy Marsh, and then
for saying get bidets.
Yeah, and then afterwards he like just turned his back after, like, because Stan his son ends up being like, Dad, you were right, like everyone should fucking should use a bidet, and then he was like, no, everyone should use toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, and then he's like, Dad, the environment. He's like, dude, like, these guys are powerful. Like you would never think of it like that, right?
Yeah.
But there's some truth. You're right.
Yeah,
like
true.
If everyone starts fucking not using toilet papers,
true.
Like that industry's like cut, like
done for.
Or just significantly shrunk.
Yeah. I mean, they could turn into like a paper towel company if they wanted to. Paper towel is useful. I think. Especially camping, starting a fire. Paper towel, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Even get a little Vaseline on that bad boy. Burns for longer.
Hey, so what's your so to continue on that topic here, like, what do you think? Okay, if you're a businessman, right? And you just like the drug companies in North America, just like, well, in South Park, say, talking about the toilet paper companies, like, if you know your product doesn't really need to be there, but you make so much money because you sell this product, it's like, where's that line where you need to like just morally be like, okay, we shouldn't need more than this much of this product. Yeah, but I make my living off this product, so here's the conundrum. I have to keep kind of like trying to push and sell it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's entrepreneur mindset, right? You have to fill a need. That's usually what you got to find a niche, fill it, and it's like you'll always have, as long as you fill that certain niche where people are gonna need it, then you're always gonna have income coming in, passive income coming in.
Right. But what if that market's saturated?
If it's saturated, then you go and find another idea. Or add on to the same idea and be like, this is better. This is a better way of doing it.
Well, I say it because, right, we're obviously about to open a bar here, right?
Yeah.
And like, obviously you and I enjoy booze, but at the same time, it's like, I need to make sure, like, we're trying to sell booze to make money.
Yeah.
But we don't want to create alcoholics that are destroying their lives. You kind of get what I mean? Like,
no, but there's when you get your pro serve, per se, you have your pro serve,
of course. No, I do. Yeah.
Well, like when you have your pro serve, you're really, it's just knowing when someone's too drunk. Yeah. Yes, there's places that probably just don't care, and they're like, they're gonna make a home, whatever. But like, if you have your pro serve, and as a owner, like, if you see someone black out and they're just being belligerent, obviously they're gonna be asked to leave. They're gonna ask for a drink. You gotta say no, blah blah blah, right? Because like, there comes a point where, yes, you're selling it for money. It's gonna be money in your pocket, but is it really gonna benefit you if he makes a scene and like everyone's like, ooh?
Yeah. No, I get exactly what you're saying. And I mean, obviously ProServe was designed to regulate the like, or at least help you understand how much booze to sell to keep things within control. But like we're adults here. I mean, the reality is that doesn't make money.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's very confusing being an entrepreneur sometimes, because you need to, especially like our product, it's like we're going to be creating good times selling that. And obviously we want people to enjoy all the product out there.
Yeah.
But however, at the same time, it's like, ethically, it's like, at what point can you make money without feeling guilty about it? Right. It's kind of like, everyone will say, well, you know, it's their choice and whatnot, and I agree, and but at the same time, it's like you do have a duty to find that fine line, right?
Yeah.
You know,
well, for some people there is no line, you know.
Yeah,
and I get what you mean. You know, as an entrepreneur and a business owner, right? You got to find where your line is. Where's your line?
At what point does the money corrupt your soul, right?
That's what I'm saying.
You
yeah,
know,
like that's what I'm at the point right now. I mean, not right now. I'm not a business owner right now, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what's your line then? You know, like what's your line as a business owner? What do you think the line is for making money and, like, you know, being ethical about it?
I don't know, man. That's the tough question, right? Like, because I do think about this a lot, you know, because as an example, so like one of the podcasts I do listen to is Jocko Willink. He's this like amazing Navy SEAL, like ex-Navy SEAL. He's like the epitome of just the most awesome dude. Like, has his shit together. He can like trains martial arts all the time. But Jocko, like he's lately, his podcasts have been centered around just straight up quitting drinking. Right?
Yeah.
He's like I don't drink anymore. That's it. Bang. I've come to the conclusion drinking's bad. Bang. We should not have drinking in society. Bang. Like.
Yeah. Really?
You know, and he just, but at the same time, the 20 years he was in the Navy SEAL teams, they drank a lot.
Well, yeah.
So now he has a stance now because he's reflecting on, I guess he has a lot of veteran friends that once they left the military, they no longer, like they all became alcoholics. And then he watched them like as he says, like just screw up their lives.
Yeah.
But when I thought about that, I was like, man, like for me to like really like love Jocko Willink and respect the shit out of him and take a lot of his teachings, it's like, but I'm a bar owner, right?
Yeah.
You know,
you could tell the difference for sure. If someone there's alcoholics, there's binge drinkers, there's casual drinkers, you know, like you can see. You know,
but you don't control those moments.
You don't control
like
it.
Yesterday, we were supposed to have one or two show you the site.
Yeah.
That turned into finishing that Mickey of Jameson's.
Yeah, but it's between the four of us. I mean, it's not that bad. A Mickey of Jameson, I could drink it by myself, but it wouldn't go very well.
Hold on, I want to keep talking about this here, but I got pissed real bad here.
Yeah, of course.
We will. All right, and we're back. Sorry, man, I really had to pee there.
No, it's good. No,
yeah. Sorry, I want to continue on that last topic we were on here. My thoughts were on it. Like right now, right now it's like Jocko is against drinking now.
Yeah.
Okay. But he used to drink all the fucking time.
Yeah.
You know, he's saying it's bad for society and everything. Jocko's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm about to open a bar.
Yeah.
You know, and but right now, I guess what I'm trying to say is like I'm really trying to understand how like I want to make money, but I want to do it ethically.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, and for selling booze, obviously, you want people to drink. That makes you money, but you don't want to like create alcoholics, right?
Yeah.
It just right now there's this constant battle in my mind about like I do have a obligation to make sure, because you're going to develop regulars that come to the bar every day, right? But and they're grown ass adults, so they can drink as much as they want. But at the same time, it's kind of like an irony, because most people that drink in that style usually are having a kind of rough go at things in life. You know, like it's like
what I've noticed, like, you know, like what the regulars I've noticed and everything like that, they don't come in to drink. It's coming in for the atmosphere. They know people that go there.
Right, yeah.
You know, like I have a guy that comes in, he has 2 9-ounce glasses of wine. Usually, that's what he has. No. You know, just like he likes the wine. He's a good wine, like a wine drinker. He doesn't get drunk when he's here or when he's there. He just, you know, has those 2 9 ounces as something to sip, and he's talking to his friends and everything like that. So I think a lot of the reason what you need to know when like people are coming to the Kaks bar, they're not coming there to get per se drunk. Really, there could be people, but I'm gonna say like 80%, like at least 80% of the people are coming either to see what's new, see what's going on the podcast, see if there's a podcast even going on on that day. There's people coming to meet. There's a apartment building right above. They're just like, hey, you want to get a quick drink, or you know, like it's the environment that they want to go in. Like it's better than if you were at how like some people like staying at home and drinking, or like just having like a casual glass of wine. And if they want to escape their house and go do that somewhere else, then you know that's the place they go to. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, obviously, Kaks is what we're doing right here. Like, this is what I want to create for people again, except as they drink and enjoy. Right.
Yeah.
Today we're doing a sober podcast because we're both. Well, I just don't want to get hammered again. Otherwise, I lose out on
Canadian Club over there. I'm just kidding.
Damn, it's right there. Hey, isn't it? Okay, no, but yeah, I was sitting there like, oh, it's calling our name. But no, I have shit to do later tonight. That's kind of why. Like, it's only 3 p.m. today, so that's also why I'm like, man, yeah, we're doing this one sober today.
Yeah, it's an early one.
Yeah, but right now, hold on, I'm trying to sort out my thoughts here on the matter because it's been something I've been thinking about and struggling with lately. Because I know at the end of the day, like as you get older, you can't drink and party like you used to because you'll literally be dead. So then, but at the same time, like the interest that the business I'm going into is bars, right? Yeah. But I'm doing it because I do love the bar industry. Yeah. Like, but absolutely. Right now it's like for the first time in my life, it's weird. I'm trying to think like, should like I'm obviously going to be promoting liquor because like we have a lot of liquor reps as well, and they have wicked liquor. Like it's like certain like Bandit Peak is amazing. All their products are the shit.
Absolutely.
And yeah, shout out Bandit Peak.
Great
right,
beer.
but at the same time,
Crushmore.
Yeah,
delicious pilsner.
Yeah, I guess all I'm trying to say right now is I'm trying to make sure I keep my eye on the ethics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As in anything you do in life, right? Mm-hmm. There's always ethics to anything, right?
Yeah, isn't it funny how life is every like it's becoming more clear to me. Everything has like a counter, and it's not so much as trying to find like your moral standpoint on one thing or another because they're intertwined. Yeah. It's like it's odd, like all these contradictions, like because I'm into fitness, yet my business is selling liquor, which is counter to fitness.
Yeah. But at the same time, like you see bodybuilders, they like to party,
Yeah.
Party, they like to have a casual drink, they like to have a casual beer.
Isn't that the irony again? Like, thanks for bringing that up. Like when you look at bodybuilding, that's supposed to be apparently the body's like at its best. But the irony is when they're on stage, they're actually at their most unhealthy.
Yeah. Because
they're dehydrated. They to create that look.
Well, they're cutting and everything like that. They're,
yeah, like it, and right now it's like just human beings are essentially like, God, like we're just walking contradictions. I just guess that's kind of what I'm starting to realize. Like, so if you want to be super successful, because a lot of people that, for instance, they're straight edge, right? They don't drink, they don't do this, they don't do whatever, and then they say that is what will give you the happiest life, the best decisions. And all of this, right? But at the same time, those people, they don't have some of the best stories to tell. Yeah. They're not that entertaining, not that fun, right? Yeah. And then you start to realize you're like, well, it's kind of boring to be straight edge too. So you need that fine line, right?
It's a fine line, very fine line,
right? But then that same fine line, sometimes you need to just cross it so that there's just because some of the funnest nights is when things are complete chaos.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone's just laughing because of like just the amount of silly situations that end up, happening, like college parties and whatnot, right? Yeah. But then at the same time, it's just so tricky because you're like, we shouldn't have actually done that because that's not healthy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we didn't do that, we wouldn't have that cool ass story to tell.
Exactly.
And like when you think about it, when you hang out with your friends, half the time, like yesterday, what were we doing? We were just telling stories.
Yeah.
Like, like you were telling me that interesting story about that house party incident recently. And then like, I was telling you stories from my bar days and then I was like, but if we didn't have stories to tell because we're not doing interesting things.
Do you really have there's people, how many people actually have interesting stories that don't involve alcohol?
Hey, it sucks to say, but most people who don't have booze, they're kind of boring.
There are cool people. I know there are people that have cool stories that don't involve alcohol.
Okay, but even their story, carry on. Like, give me an example of one of their stories. You don't have to name names. I don't know.
You were like, I think it's a very cool story when, say, I know a few people that went to like Africa or something, built houses and like that, and like all the kids are around them. They're like amazed or like. my tall white friend went to like China. Everyone's taking pictures with him. Like that's all cool stories because like they didn't involve alcohol. It's like interesting to know that that's what the world's like in other places and like how people have traveled so much. You know,
I guess what I'm
You know?
asking you then is, what's more interesting, chaos or order?
chaos and in
Like what's more like engaging? You're instantly like, whoa, hey, like entertained, fascinated. You want to see more, do more. Like chaos or order?
Well, I feel like how I said I like watching the apartment videos, all that
Yeah.
stuff. When they're cleaning and the apartment's clean, it's kind of nice to watch. It's engaging. I'm like, it's a clean apartment, nice ass furniture.
You're gonna make a great old guy one
Yeah,
day.
no, they have nice furniture. But on the other side, I like watching videos of like, I'm not gonna use the name Karen, but those videos where it's just like old ladies getting mad or like old guys getting mad at like motorcyclists and they're yelling and then all of a sudden they take their like motorcycle key and run inside and then the biker has to call the cops and all that stuff and then the cops come, they get the key back and then they go on about their day. Those videos are fun too. Or like I saw a video where someone lit a firework off a balcony, supposed to go up in the sky and then light off, right? But it goes straight across through someone's balcony door and it blows up in their house and like I think that's funny too. So,
so
there's
again, that's
lots of
called chaos.
Yeah, a lot
and that was fucking entertaining, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I'm starting to realize I guess what I'm trying to say is I can't just be like Jocko exactly. Just because Jocko says drinking's bad and don't do this and don't do that, it's like, well, I'm not trying to live Jocko's life, right? But I do love a lot of the qualities he brings, so I'll apply that to my world here. And right now you hear a lot of people say, look at Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? Best fighter in the world, never drank, super religious, super straight edge, blah blah blah. Oh look, see, he beat Conor McGregor, the guy that parties all the time and does this and does that, right? Never failed a steroid test, Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? But then I counter right away with, who's the greatest fighter of all time right now? John Jones.
And
what does John Jones do? He does the exact opposite.
Hell yeah.
Uses steroids, does cocaine, drinks. Yes, he also trains. Yes, he's also strategic, but he's a complete chaotic wild man, and he's the best.
Yeah.
He's also undefeated.
But is he the best because he uses those things to keep himself level-headed, right?
He's not level-headed.
But I'm saying like it like helps him focus in a way like he knows he has to train. He knows he's a fighter. Is he partying and then forgetting that he's a fighter? Or is he partying and then knowing that he has to train? It's kind of like taking the edge off and knowing that he has a fight, but, I have another life other than fighting.
Well, with John Jones, I don't want to get too lost in the weeds describing that guy because it's all out there for people to just research. But the thing about him is that he partied he explained why he partied before fights. It's so that he psychologically had an excuse in case he lost. Yeah, and then but then because he did that is very interesting because he's a very fascinating psychoanalysis because I think about it all the time. I'm like, when he does that, then it's like he's free after because he doesn't have to give a fuck.
But that's what I'm saying.
And then when he doesn't give a fuck, he just that's why he's so creative in the octagon. Because he's free. He doesn't really care.
Yeah.
Like he cares, but he doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like he's even said, like, if I finally lose, I just tell myself, hey, it's because I got trashed or whatever. Like week before. And you see it in his movements, his style. Like that's why he's like so insanely good in there, is because he's also insanely relaxed. He's not intimidated by the guy he's fighting or this. But then you take a look at Khabib. Khabib is very just calculated. Like everything is game plan, put in the hours, game plan, like don't deviate from game plan, like at all costs. Like plan A doesn't work, sharpen up plan A, do it again. And like I see like these are the two extremes, but they all both reach the same point of success. Yeah. So
who do you think would win against each other?
Well, they're in completely different weight classes.
I know, but say they were in the same one.
You're saying pound for pound, like say there's a machine that shrinks them to the same size.
Yeah.
That isn't that the question we're trying to answer right now? Like the chaos guy or the order guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think chaos guy.
You think chaos guy? Okay, but then chaos guy also causes chaos.
Exactly.
He's like beating his wife and like.
Wow.
Oh yeah, John Jones.
He does.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. He it was pretty bad. Yeah. Well, he's been in trouble with, like he's beat his wife before. He's he's been he ran his car into a pregnant lady's car, breaking her arm, and he fled the scene.
Oh.
But then he came back to get his drugs from the whatever past the compartment, and then he took off again.
Wait a second, he left his car there?
His car was totaled. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
This was
God.
years ago though, and then
Wow.
he ended up he turned himself in. He was obviously on drugs when it happened. At the time, he freaked out, and then
Yeah.
and then like he just can't really function outside of the fighting. Like he needs handlers, literally. But that same wild craziness is why he's a genius in the octagon, right?
So Khabib never ever drinks. There's no drinking.
No, he's a hardcore Muslim. Like
hardcore.
he's a hardcore Muslim. Yeah. So because they're from Dagestan, that whole region is like I don't know. Like I'm kind of it's really interesting because like I take a look at most people are somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
They're ordered and chaos.
Yeah.
Ordered and chaos. Ordered and chaos. But you see people get told to take things into extreme like order per se for maximum success. Like Jordan Peterson, like he basically is always like. Do you follow Jordan Peterson's stuff at all?
No.
Do you know who he is?
Jordan Peterson.
It's all right if you don't. Like, not everyone.
Maybe not.
Like,
I know the name. I just don't know if I can put a.
Yeah, he was a psychologist at U of T, I believe.
What is he? No, he's not black.
No, he's a white guy. he's the left wing people think he's a Nazi, like because they think he's very.
Yeah, he's definitely not black.
Yeah, because his rhetoric lately it resonates with a lot of people because he talks about self-improvement, taking ownership, cutting out the bad things in your life, but he also takes it. I don't want to get into all the controversies of Jordan Peterson as well because like we'll get in the weeds with that one too. But left wing people hate him. All right, let's just put it that way, and he basically is a right wing guy.
Yeah,
not basically, he is a right wing.
He
He's hardcore right wing, but he's very popular because his whole genre is self improvement.
Yeah,
and but even he says like it has to be order. Like you have to like. If we all follow Jordan Peterson, then I would be out of business, right?
Yeah,
there'd be no such thing as booze, But at the same time, like if you go pure order again, like I said, like a lot of people are like, there's something empty about that too. You know what I mean? Yeah. You kind of feel my struggle here lately, my psychological. It seems to be a theme lately as the bar comes closer to coming to life.
Yeah,
because I know I have a responsibility now to obviously make this thing succeed, but at the same time, not be that greedy ass capitalist who's just like say I have a bar patron come in every day, he's clearly spiraling, and then I'm just like, here's more of your booze.
No, it's not even about that. You hire like bartenders or servers. Bartenders, I know that you have to have that social aspect where you can have those conversations with people like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's going on in your life? And like they come in.
That's all most of the time. That's what I'm talking to people about. But go on. Sorry,
exactly. You just like have to. When you have the right bartender, they have the right mentality, or even if the bartender's having a shitty day, people can notice. All they're doing is making drinks. They're not talking to anyone, right?
Yeah, so that's true.
The same thing comes where, like, if you have a regular coming in just because, like, you see they're spiraling, they're in a bad spot in their life. If you have that person to talk to, like maybe they don't have someone to talk to outside of the bar.
True.
So they come into the bar for someone to talk to. They're trying to find someone to talk to because they need to, open up their mind and make sure that someone's listening. So as a bartender, as a business owner, doesn't matter if you're in there like one day and you're just walking around checking on tables or checking on the guys and you see this guy in a bad spot, check in on him, just see what can I get you. I want some food, or like the food's really good here, everything like that. Is there anything else I can get you? What's going on with you? How's everything?
Yeah. Do you feel like because people say bartenders are like indirectly therapists or whatever?
Yeah.
Because I actually had that situation going. Like I had one of the regulars that used to come to one of the bars I worked at. Like she is a psychologist.
Yeah.
So then when she comes to the bar, she's putting back onto me like how crazy her clients have been, and then she tells me like basically that she keeps her together. She keeps her shit together for the client. But then, in her own world, she has her own shit going on. And then I sat there thinking to myself, like, man, like, so am I a does that make me a fucking like PhD as well then? Because you have a PhD, but now you're resolving your problems in me. And I'm like, and I'm offering apparently good feedback because like, I remember there was a couple things I mentioned to to that psychologist in particular, that she like went home and did the research on the recommendations I made for people to follow, and then she came back like, hey, you know what, like, dude, like that was awesome. And then we struck up a friendship in that regard. But yeah, so I mean that, to be honest, that's how I kind of got into all of this, was like the years of bartending, chatting with people. I realized like I do have a knack for it, and there's something there, you know, or unless I'm completely deluded, it's just people had some drinks,
Absolutely,
you know? And then they're, you know, but I was told many times, well, hey man, like you're pretty good at talking, you know, per se.
Exactly.
You know? So it's like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, I gotta find a way to make this a career, because I do enjoy the shit out of it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So, you know, just since you're able to talk, you know, like I said, if you like that ethic, or like, you know, your morals feel wrong, you know, just make sure you put it into your own work, where you put your own morals into your work or your business, right? So go talk to those people. If you see someone that's drinking a little too much and they look like they're in bad shape, and just go to them, talk to them, make sure they're good, you know?
Yeah.
You can get people to talk, so, you know?
Yeah, no, true. I do that. And, but sorry, to go back to the order chaos thing, but sometimes it's almost like you need to just unleash complete chaos in your life too sometimes, you know, because that is where that's where the magic happens, per se. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know, it's like, it's just been something I've been struggling with lately. Just, it's been more and more prevalent in my mind. Like I'm really observing my own actions and stuff too, where I'm just like, man, like, it's like, what's this fine line? Is it no booze altogether? I'm like, that doesn't sound right. But then I'm like, but I don't want to sell booze.
I mean, like, you're always going to be your worst critic to yourself, right? You yourself is going to, you know, challenge you. Like, you're the only person that can challenge you, like, the most out of anybody, you know?
Yeah.
So since you're thinking like this, it's just and why is it, you know, kept them in your head? If you didn't think this way and then someone came up to you and said the exact same thing, it wouldn't bother you. But since you're saying it to yourself, obviously, you know, if you're fighting kind of like, what's better, what should I do here, you know, like, it's going to make it a little bit more hard, because you're fighting your own mind, you know? How should your mind think? You know, if you're asking yourself how your mind should think, it's just because your mind's like, you know, out of conflict.
Yeah. And also it's just the trajectory in which, like, it's coming up now for a reason, you know, because I'm getting older, and I'm transitioning into another phase now. So like the old ways, like, I'm not gonna be living like the way I'm 20 when I'm 40, and you know, like, because literally you wouldn't be able to function as a fucking 40-year-old, right? But I don't know, man. Like, but what were yourself right now? Do you have any like complete contradictory traits in your, like, things going on in your world, like that just kind of like, man, like, I can't pick one or the other. I have to do both, but they completely clash and make no sense together.
Yeah, well, it's just like working, right? And like not making them, you know, I'm not doing as much as I could do. Like, if I'm laying in bed, I said this last podcast, it's like laying in bed, I could be doing something. I could be making money, you know? Should I be doing that? I don't know. Like, could I do it? Yes. Like, it's just always like I'm contradicting myself, because like I could be up doing stuff, but I'm not.
So this is more like a philosophical question, but don't you think humanity is kind of doomed if we constantly have these contradictory traits? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I kind of get what Jocko's saying. He's like, if you want to truly progress and make something happen, you have to go all in the one direction, not split it in two. You know what I mean? Like you want to be a world champion bodybuilder, there can be zero partying. You have to fully commit to just eating and training, right? You know, but then it's like, but people can't do that. So then, aren't we always stuck in a fucked up pattern of like barely progressing? You kind of know what I mean?
It's like,
like it's a tricky one, man. It's just, and I don't know what the right answer is, because I tried really hard to I don't know, just straight up like give up certain things right now in my life, right? But I'm just sitting there like, like because I know
gotta go cold turkey. You don't gotta go cold turkey. You know, going cold turkey, I feel like it's good in some aspects, for sure. It depends what you're doing, but like, you know, when something's not really harming your life, and like in a way it could be benefiting your life, as long as it's in like moderation.
I don't think moderation, you know, man. Yeah,
you know,
fuck, man. We just talk in a big circle. Like moderation, I suppose, is but moderation never feels complete either. You know what I mean? It's because moderation half the time means like for instance with food, like you eat till you don't have that hunger feeling anymore. But
Yeah.
you're telling me to stop in the middle and still be slightly hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for food, if that's someone's struggle, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, then what the fuck's the point? Like, you're not gonna be happy like that.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way, because
Yeah.
everything's like, it's like you're blue balling yourself.
Yeah.
You're ever about to jizz, and then you're
Yeah.
like, you don't jizz.
Well,
Like,
like,
the fuck's the point
yeah,
of that then, right?
you got to
Like,
find the line, because like, what do you? I don't know. Sometimes it's good to edge yourself. Sometimes good, like for say, man, I want to have more chips. But you shouldn't have more chips because you're on that cut.
Mm.
Yes, does it suck in the moment? Are you gonna notice it in 30 minutes? No, not at all. Not a chance. If you put that bag of chips away or something like that, I don't know why I'm saying chips, but you put them away, they're not in your sight, they're not in your mind, and then you start doing something else. You start working out, or you just hit the gym, or have that protein shake, something like that. Like, there's moderation. Like, in moderation means to me, where it's like you know how much you should have or how much you should do. So keep it at that line, because if you know how much you should be able to do and can do it within reason, then you should be fine. I think it's like, as long as you're not harming yourself, you're not harming anyone around you.
Okay, but again, if we're going on this notion here, like, we're not using specific examples, we're talking about the general premise of the idea of this, right? But again, like the most interesting people's lives aren't from being moderate. It's from being extreme, actually, in each direction, right? Like think about those rock stars in the 80s. Like, could you imagine? They're like, everyone rock out, but be in bed by 11. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, no, like, it's because of, like, every rock star is completely unraveled,
but that's
and
what
there's
I mean.
that complete super chaos element to it, right? I don't know.
Are you doing that every night? Because I know there's nights where they're sleeping in bed. Moderation,
not in the 80s, apparently, with Motley Crue or something.
Motley Crue, The Dirt,
just a blur, just a blur
movie.
as fuck. Yeah, okay. Like, would you, if you had a chance to experience Motley Crue, to be Motley Crue in the 80s, like, it's like,
I don't know if I would do that.
You don't. Oh man, I don't know. Like, because that's just pure hedonism, what they were doing.
Crazy.
But
Pretty crazy.
But at the same time, like, it's like you. Who else would have had the, like, you're almost obligated to do that if you were Motley Crue.
Yeah, if you are Motley Crue,
they wouldn't be Motley Crue if they didn't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
well, who would you be if you didn't do what you did as well, right? There's not going to be another Shawn.
Yeah,
there's not going to be another Ethan. So yes, they did something, as in, like, they made music. There's a movie about them, worldwide known. Does that mean that they prevailed and they did what they needed to? Are they done their lives? Is that what they needed to do, and now they can just relax?
Kind of like go crazy in your 20s and then...
Yeah. They just... Is that all that they have in them? Right?
Yeah.
See, say you just open this bar. Is that all you have in you after this? Is this all you want?
No, exactly. For sure. No. I'm actually like more hungry than ever. I'm just right now trying to I'm trying to be the most successful Shawn that I could be, right? But right now I'm trying to find that answer where I'm like, it's like, do we just go extreme this way? Or, because I know now, like, I'm seeing like this juggling both paths. It's like, it's like you can either go all in on trying to make your business succeed, or do you still party half the time? Because, like, it's like, which is it, right? It's like if I just still party half the time, can I be as successful as I could be, right? And also, like, why do you want to be successful? It's like, well, obviously I have all these experiences I also want to have, and money will get me there. And it's kind of like my friend the other day asked me. It's like, because he was saying, like, man, like, I'm not that guy that would ever want to have a yacht, right? But then I also think to myself, why wouldn't you not want it? If you have one life to live, like, don't you want to at least have the chance to be that guy that at least has the option to say they want, and then it's like,
but are you gonna be on that yacht by yourself, right? Because I know myself. I mean, I have a lot of close friends. Like, I do have close friends. Do I have enough close friends to fill a yacht? Not a fucking chance. Do I have that many friends? So why would I want a yacht if I'm, like, just gonna be filling it with people that are just there? To be on a yacht.
But again, like the mind can think endless scenarios. Like you didn't even consider what, maybe you have a nice family by then.
True.
And now your family has a yacht.
But wouldn't the family be happier with a little, like, a speedboat that you can go fucking water skiing on?
True.
And a little cabin in the woods. in Kelowna, something on the lake, have a little dock. I like that. That'd be nice. But yacht, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because Conor McGregor again got in my.
Does Conor McGregor have a yacht?
Conor McGregor is always on yachts, man.
Does he have his own yacht?
He has a Lamborghini yacht.
He has a Lamborghini yacht.
like a racing boat super yacht.
Really? How much does that cost him?
I don't fucking know, man. Like, gotta be millions upon millions of dollars,
Lamborghini speedboat yacht.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but again, like look at fucking Conor McGregor. It's like to carry back onto the theme we were kind of discussing. Like, he's so crazy right now, and he drinks all the fucking time. He's literally every video. He's but he literally, because he started the Black Forge Inn, that bar, right?
Yeah.
But when he was coming up, he was not partying.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, with that streak of his success, he really wasn't partying. He trained, and that was it. And then he got there, he won the 2 belts, and then he just kind of started hanging out with, celebrities and this. Next, you know it, he's partying, and but now he's obviously not succeeding as a fighter anymore.
Yeah.
He's not winning his fights, but
maybe he will next time.
Maybe. Well, he's way out there. He's supposed to be fighting Michael Chandler here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just sorting through what, like, because I want to like fucking sharpen this sword, if you will, of my life, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's hard to make the full commitment to doing what it takes to be that successful per se, without giving up all the fun in a weird way, like. So right now it's a weird like juggling act right now, but I don't know. But I bring it like you right now, and you're in this point in your life, because when I was your age, it was like, you should try to have fun.
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
This is the time to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because your body, you can't reverse that. You don't want to be trying to be this party guy when you're 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then on the flip side, if you're partying, you're not pushing to be successful, as in what your dad was like, how come you're not more further along?
But who's a good way? Dana White. He's partying, he's successful.
Yeah.
He's really successful.
Yes.
Joe Rogan. He parties.
Joe parties, and
he parties.
Joe's like moderation. Like, well, Joe's a very like interesting case, because he'll get hammered, but he's so strategic on when he But most people don't have that ability to know when. Like, is today the day you just unload fully and let loose, right? Like, it's like I don't know, like because most people, let's be honest, the parties kind of naturally happen, like. Just like yesterday, we were only supposed to have one, but we were having a great time. So then it turned into.
But why do you have to wait for that moment? Why can't you be that moment? Do people drink if Joe Rogan's not drinking? Like, everyone's like, or when he starts drinking and he wants to have a party, people are like, okay, I want to party too.
Well, with him, it's kind of like, it depends on his guest, right?
Yeah.
Like you're right. He is the party. He chooses, like when he says it's time to party, then the people around him also elevate and then escalate it. And then when he says it's time to like focus only on sober October, like then they all, he definitely controls that element. But we're not Joe Rogan.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
Kaks Bar Podcast.
We are Kaks, but forget Kaks for a second. This is just Shawn and Ethan, right?
Yeah.
It's like
well, then you're Shawn.
Yeah, like we're not. But Shawn's not going to. I didn't create the fun times yesterday. It created itself with all of us. Like we're all joking around, one joke off another, and then next we're like, let's have another, right?
Yeah.
And then like think about it, but then. If you told yourself like, I'm going to be home at 8 that night because I'm going to be in the gym by 5 a.m. and blah, 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 then you would have lost out on that good time that we just had, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, but then you feel the guilt about, oh man, no, I'm not sticking with my goals or whatever. But like, that's why I'm like, like I'm like, I confused the shit on myself. Cause I'm like, that was so fun last night. So it's like, and when you're about to die, are you going to remember being disciplined or are you going to remember the good times? Right. Right. So you have to have some of that. I don't know, man. It's just lately my brain, my head's just been spinning on itself with like.
I mean, I feel like it also has to do with like how the bar is opening up so soon. Right? You can prepare yourself for this opening, right? Are you ever gonna feel really fully prepared?
No,
exactly.
Fuck no. There's way too many elements. I just know right now, like, it's time to sell booze, right?
Booze. Like, it's not even about selling booze. It's about selling.
well, good times as well, right?
Selling good
selling
times,
Kaks,
selling Kaks, and like having people there for it's like selling the environment, right?
Yeah,
Selling,
that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like our slogan is "Come for the beer, stay for the conversation," right? Like,
absolutely.
like we want to recreate people having a good time and consistently coming to like have that be their hub, their community area, you know, which again means probably daily drinking, but at the same
Doesn't
time,
even mean that. You guys have shareables, you have food.
we have food. That's right. That's
There's
right.
food and everything like that. Does it have to? Do they come for? Maybe they'll come for like a Pepsi or something like that. I mean, it's not going to happen. But like, what if it's just one beer? You know, you're having a couple of shareables with the.
But the podcast part of the business, no, we're not. Like the food for sure. It's a bar restaurant, okay? So there's food, but we're not going to be eating while we podcast. Like, no, who could focus
Why
on
not?
like?
Well,
that's
no,
all
you know, chew away from the camera.
Like drinking is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, but you're not gonna be like, hey, like today we're gonna like have our full dinner while we're podcasting. Like,
you know, just have the like a plate there, and then like just show what you guys have. You know,
that would annoy the shit out of the audience.
You know, just having food, we're not eating it. It's just right there.
Well, yeah, it's just right there. Okay, but then we're not eating it.
Yeah, well, we can eat it after.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Just to show kind of like I don't know. I feel like if every person feels part of the podcast too, that'd be pretty cool. I want to say.
If everyone wants to
in the bar felt like they were in the podcast kind of deal, right?
Well, that's the goal.
Exactly.
I like the vision is once the podcast booth is open, then it's like we're just shooting content like this like all the time and just having like cool conversations, right? You know, like hopefully one day there's like, I don't know, randomly that'd be nice if there's just some cool lawyer guy, maybe he's in there one day having a drink. Hey, you want to do a podcast and get to know each other for maybe just 2 minutes, just a quick feeling out process, and bang, he hits us with some knowledge on the law and like and then like because part of also why I'm doing this too is like I just want to keep getting smarter too, right? And I find like the smart like I learned the best like this, us chatting,
building knowledge,
me thinking about it, getting right to the point, and then like not like sifting through a book for hours and hours, like 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 when it's way quicker when someone explains something to you. But
I feel that. Fair enough. Like a visual learner.
Yeah.
Or through your ears kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, if you're like, if you were telling me about something you're passionate about, you're going to be able to like explain that. And I'm going to be able to get excited about it,
learning through people's like experiences kind of deal.
Yeah. And then applying it after, right? Like that's the whole goal,
fair enough.
But sure, there's going to be some, I suspect there's gonna be some episodes of just pure nonsense.
Absolutely,
100%.
I could see that happening. I bet you there's gonna be, I don't know, maybe there's gonna be an episode like, we have even if it's like, it doesn't have to be a Patreon, but like you're just like with your friend, you guys are both drunk and like obviously not too drunk, but like
I was pretty drunk in our last podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. What did we have that last podcast we had?
I think we were drinking Nemesis. I think
Nemesis, Zero Nemesis. Yeah.
Oh my god, Zero Issue. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Well, I actually gave that one a listen to again. I was like, man, like I'm like slurring my words. Like,
we're talking a lot about the industry stuff. Yeah. Veered away from it this time though. We did veer away from it this time because I felt bad. I felt bad after I listened.
What we talked about is that we both have our ProServe.
Exactly. Both have ProServe. I have my ProTech too. So.
Oh yeah, 666. Yeah, we didn't need that back when I bounced.
Really?
No, I don't recall having a ProTech like needed back then.
Okay.
Yeah, it was that nightclub I bounced at, it was something else.
Was it the After Hours Club or was it?
No, it was a regular nightclub, man. In fact, at the time, it was like the longest running nightclub in the city. I'm not going to name where it is right now, but
Back alley. Shout out.
Wasn't the back alley, but yeah, no, but that bar, I remember. Fuck, man. I had this one buddy that everyone had stab vests on.
Stab vests.
Yeah, and except for him. Yeah. And then like he's like, we walked in and it was like right out of like the movie Roadhouse. Like there was just this massive brawl that broke out in the front, like near the entrance. The original Roadhouse, by the way. They're remaking the movie, but with Conor McGregor, oddly enough, and Jake Gyllenhaal. But I remember my buddy was like, he was like just feeding it this one guy, like just punching him in the face, and like because like a full brawl had broken out, and then he looks over at me and when Kyle like, and he's like, oh hey guys, like hey like record night, like and then his real radio is going off, and I'm like, hey, like where's your stab vest? He's like, oh, he's like, it restricts my punch.
Well, good thing you didn't get stabbed.
Yeah. No, but my buddy, like he's fucking back then anyway. Like, I don't think he realizes that was just one of the most like alpha fucking boss things to say. You know, like
it was restricted my punch.
Yeah, it restricts, but he's being serious.
Yeah,
you know, some they're just like, wow, like you're not. Yeah, because at the time there was a series of stabbings on the bouncers. That's why they all of a sudden everyone was wearing a stab vest. But my buddy, he was the head bouncer too. Like, you know, but he was like, it was like literally out of the movie Roadhouse. Like, like he just had so much respect, and he was one hell of a street fighter per se. Like, you know, he's just in shape Jack dude who wasn't afraid to get after it. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds scary, to be honest. Is he still in shape?
Him, I've lost touch with. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know. I mean, he's got to be like 40 now, so I'm like, I mean, if he keeps in shape, fine. But back then we were like 19.
19.
He was 19. But he was a big Jack in shape 19-year-old and
lead bouncer at 19.
Yeah. My buddy had how he got the job too was it was in the paper at the time, like it's like looking for bouncers, like right away please, like show, and then he just showed up, and I guess that night he walked to the front, and then the other door guy was like, oh hey, like he's like, I'm here for the job, and then they looked at him, he's a pretty big guy, and so he's like, hey, like you take a shift right now, like you know, he's like, really? Yeah, like I can be in right now. And I don't even know, like was that necessarily legal or whatever, you know. So and then buddy that night, like just from what I understand, there was a guy that like kind of like drove a car like into like a you know what, this is the way he told it, okay. And like there's a guy that, like, this is an audition, there's a guy that tried to drive a car into like a bunch of people at the very end of the night. Yeah, cops got involved and everything, but like my buddy, like I guess like kind of like saved the one door guy from getting hit, and then he not only did he like put him out of the way, he actually grabbed the driver, got him out of the car, and then like was like kicking, beating him up or whatever, restraining him until the cops came or whatever. And then like after that, it was like that next week he was like the head bouncer.
Wow,
because he was just like, or he was the second in command or whatever. Like because he just showed like complete leadership. My buddy for a 19-year-old was like, he was not like a kid at all. You know, he was very mature and like, you know, I don't know. Fuck that story went down memory lane, you know. Like, but again, that story is hearsay for me. I wasn't there for that one. But I was there for many of the other ones. And it was wow. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I don't think bars will ever be like that again. I really don't. That was just a different era.
Absolutely.
And I can only imagine before that, before the internet, before the phone. Things must have been just crazier.
Absolutely.
Like must have been, you know. Like I can only imagine what the bar scene must have been like in like when you could smoke and like
smoke in the building.
Well, actually, when I first turned 18, like, you're still allowed to smoke in bars. But even then, you know, there's phones and shit. Like, but back then, just imagine like no phones, the security footage is all grainy and shit. Like how much shit, and it was all cash business back then. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
fucked.
Like the amount of like corruption must have been just off the chain or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fake IDs must have been just...
fake IDs. We must have just got there's probably a bunch of 16-year-olds in the club back then.
Must be right?
Well, like holy, because nowadays you got the scanner, electronic scanner and everything like that, and you scan it, it'll tell you if it's like a fake ID. You know, you can literally tell if it's a fake ID nowadays. Like there's people that have really good ones, but like there's fake IDs that like look horrible, and I'm like, holy. When I was bouncing, and I didn't even scan some of them. Like there's like a fake ID I saw, and I was like,
I mean, like how bad was it?
Like it was like a BC kind of replica. And it was just like the print was all blurry, and then once you turn the card around, the barcode on the bottom, like it doesn't scan, and like I was like, and it was like just the whole thing was blurry. It was insane. I was just like, this is not real, and it feels, you know how an ID feels. Like this one felt like, I don't know, like very bendable plastic. Like
so if you like, you just tell the guy like, what the fuck is this, man? Get out of here. I
was like, not tonight. That's it. I just go, not tonight. Sorry, man. And then, you know, they go on their way. They're like, why? Like I've never had someone be like, why not? It's completely real. Like they usually, if I go like, it's not tonight, they leave pretty fast. So
I don't know. I feel like just based on what you just said, even right there, like I think the bar scene right now is in a good place.
Yeah.
I really do, because like it shouldn't be as wild as it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, but as wild as it was, those are some fun ass stories to hear. Like, you know, like some of the older guys that, you know, like I don't keep in touch with them now, but a few years ago, whenever like we had drinks and they told me some of these stories, I was sitting there like, even if 1/10 of that shit is true,
Yeah.
it's like, God damn, that must have been a rush.
insane.
Like, you know, like it must have been crazy exciting in a
Yeah.
weird way. As long as you live through it, you know, because there's been so many stories of people who didn't fucking make it through it. You know,
I used to have a good time going out, honestly, like to the clubs.
Mhm. I don't go to clubs anymore.
Yeah,
what are they like right now?
Well, when I was 18, like they were fun. Like you go to Cowboys on Thursday, get a
yeah, we did that too.
some with trays. You know, it was like $5 before. Like when you used to go, no.
Oh yeah, when I
A tray for $5 kind of deal.
They had 25-cent draft.
Yeah,
that like Cowboys was like extremely good time for that little period, but it was just such a crazy time during that time,
because
like,
it was a good time. Like when I used to go, I think it was like a tray for $20, but like that's still like $1 beer and whatever, doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, like it was so much more fun than it is today. I noticed that after COVID, you know, when all the new fresh 18s can go to the club, they don't really know how to like act per se.
Yeah.
Right now, just because they didn't get that little buffer, you know.
Yeah.
That little buffer.
Think about it, like they kind of are really 16 in the mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, COVID fucked everyone psychologically.
Absolutely.
You know?
So
now all of a sudden they're in this environment, and kind of odder.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to go out these days. Like Thursdays, usually it's a good night to go out on Thursday, just because like there's not too many people out.
Yeah.
But you know, Fridays and Saturdays everywhere, it's just crazy. That's full.
That's completely backwards from when I was back when I went out, like when I was first 18. There's certain bars where it was like everyone's only 18, 19.
Yeah.
Like you don't see another older person there.
Yeah.
Those bars is always Thursday for some reason.
Knoxville's.
Yeah,
that place.
Oh yeah, well it was when I went. It was called Roadhouse. Yeah. Nah, yeah. Roadhouse was good. It was but yeah, man, like it was a different world back then, and just like I said, I can only imagine what the 90s was like, and then the 80s, like it just must have been.
Well, there's different music too. I think music drives people's actions all the time as well.
Yeah.
But you're listening to heavy metal, you're banging your head around, pushing your friends. You listen to hip hop, you're dancing, you know.
Speaking of heavy metal, I went to Papa Roach.
Papa Roach.
Yeah, do you know what Papa Roach is?
Yeah, no.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, they. His, the Last Resort song, like that was on my high school era, like or whatever. Man, I'm dating myself. So I actually didn't follow him like Papa Roach after that, but man, like that was fun. Like it was a complete throwback for me anyway, and I was just sitting there like, fuck, this is like. But what was funny was the people in the crowd were all like my age and almost 40. Yeah. So it just shows you again, like, wow, what different times. Because like fucking 20 years ago, 40-year-olds aren't rocking out a concert. Well, some are, but most are not that age. Like they have jobs, they have to go home. Like, but now it's like
families, kids.
Yeah, like people are having kids less. They're becoming like they're in their youth mentality longer. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
I feel like a lot of people are getting. No, like, hey, so when my dad grew up, there's people getting married left, right, and center. But now I have no friends getting married. Like,
you're 24, man.
Maybe in the future. But like when my dad was like my age, like he was already going to weddings, parties, and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, like none of my friends really have that. Like I do have a couple of friends that have girlfriends, and like maybe it'll turn into like whatever. I'm not gonna call it. I'm not going to jinx it or anything, but like, if it does, then that'd be sick. But I haven't been to a lot of weddings. I've been to one wedding, and it was my friend's mom. So I can't wait for the weddings, the wedding era in my life. That's for sure. Because weddings get pretty crazy.
Weddings are fun as fuck. Yeah. But I don't know. We're just at a shift in culture, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like things are just different now. Yeah. People are having kids less. People are having kids like able to have kids later too, healthily. People are living longer. Like economically, you got a whole generation of 20-year-olds in there right up to almost 30 that have to live at home. It doesn't make any economic sense to just be spinning your wheels just to make just barely enough to cover like a super expensive mortgage. Because think about it, like it's and then there's a lot of chaos just going on period right now, like the war in Ukraine, and then just interest rates being jacked up, food prices being fucking this and that. Like it's like I feel like we're definitely in a bit of a mess right now. Like, and it's kind of hard to like steer this thing back more like into a better direction. I don't know, man. Like we'll see where all this goes, man. Like we're all like along for the ride, obviously.
Yeah, I remember when it really hit me is I love Little Caesars. So good pizza. Shout out Little Caesars because their pizza used to be $5 or something like that. Their pepperoni pizza ready, hot and ready or something.
Yeah,
used to be $5. Now it's like 10. It's like 10. It's like twice the amount.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And I'm like,
everything's financially harder. That's for sure. I mean,
I'm like, man, that sucks. Now the crazy bread costs $5. That used to be like $1.
Yeah,
horrible inflation.
Yeah,
it's hitting all the wrong spots. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, yes, it really is.
It really, like you can't hit little Caesars like that. I used to go when I grew up. There used to be this Dairy Queen right beside my grandparents' house that would have 59-cent burgers. 59-cent burgers, and we would go. We get like 20 plain ones, and then 20, ketchup and onions, all that one. Like we get 20 of each just because like. 59-cent burgers.
Yeah, man.
It was a good time. But now we don't have that. We don't have that anymore.
It's so I'm gonna wind this down here, but I just want to say like it's hard to like pinpoint. What I'm trying to say is like the food prices went up overnight.
Yeah.
Like how are you supposed to plan, and like when something crucially that you need can fluctuate in price by over 100%. Yeah. Like gas and food. It's just so crazy.
Gas too, man.
Yeah, like it's like right now that's why I'm like I'm like, where are we going as a society with all this? Like how are people supposed to actually like make, I'm not saying everything's so unfair. Yeah. Maybe I am saying that, but it's like within reason, right, dude? Like things are getting a bit out of control right now. Like how do you expect people to not have mental health issues when this and that is going on? But I don't have any answers for this. I'm just as confused as, for instance, we actually met with our poultry guy. Yeah. Because for starting to get our menu ready. Our menu's basically ready, by the way. But the menu items that are all meat related. Yeah. The guy, he went to a meat conference in the U.S. I know it's this guy's actually pretty cool. I want him on the podcast. Yeah, he actually explained to Cass and I exactly why the like cattle beef prices are what it is. And the short version is during COVID, there was all these farmers that stopped what's it called, procreating their cattle that procreate, if that makes sense, because they didn't need them, right? So now there's like because they don't need that many cows that do the procreating or whatever. So then COVID happened, everyone got through that, but now that the economy's picking up again, they don't have enough of those cows. You have to wait 2 years for those cows to naturally reproduce again to create enough, you know what I mean? Like, so there's gonna be, like he says, roughly a 2-year period now where beef's gonna be super high, right? But again, as a farmer, when you see the trickle effect with every major hurdle, like a pandemic or like an economic crash, or like it has a domino effect onto everything, right? And then and it's like that's why you're seeing what you're seeing with that. That's kind of like I'm not doing a service of explaining. I want him to sit down and actually
absolutely
explain to people.
That makes sense though. Wow, never thought about that.
Yeah, it's just natural like cycles of shit, right? It's like how do you think this animal's made? He has to have sex and make more of them. Okay. During the downturn when you didn't need as many of them as a business, again you're like, well, I don't need
eggs though. Eggs gone off. Why are those expensive?
I don't know. He just told me about the beef.
You should ask him about the eggs next time.
I could. He explained to me also the again, like it was so funny the way you worded it, because he was actually like, I'm saying this, but I'm not really saying this, because but he was saying the reason why crab meat is like super expensive right now too is because normally they're like up in Alaska or whatever, in that area, and then he was explaining that there's like 2 million crabs have just gone missing. Missing.
Really?
Like the people that study that area, like, oh, did they migrate? No, they went missing. So,
just out of nowhere.
Well, the idea is that the Russians illegally fished them out.
They
violated borders, just went and fucking like
scooped them
so,
up.
yeah. So then now North America has like less crabs or some shit. Like,
Wouldn't they notice that though? I mean, like,
I don't know, man. Like
feel
it, there's some serious like trade war shit. Now again, that's just like an allegation,
Yeah.
but you know the crabs didn't actually disappear.
Yeah.
Like it's like
what if like a sea monster ate them?
maybe.
You know?
Well then let's find the sea monster and cook that. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. You know, what's that? Megalodon?
Oh yeah,
Like that big old shark. Maybe he ate him.
Hey man, shark fin soup's illegal because unethical.
That's
so
true.
You
Hey,
can't touch that megalodon. Okay?
I do miss it though. I had it as a kid. Good soup though.
Yeah,
Very good soup.
very brutal.
Didn't know how it was made.
You
That's
know how
why
the sausage was made, and when you found out, you're like, absolutely, they need to stop that.
Yeah,
that's so cruel.
agree,
Like you just cut the fin and they
just
throw
throw back.
like it's just like fuck, man. Like I mean, look, like we eat meat, but you want to be ethical.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that's definitely not
Yeah,
ethical.
no. At least use the whole shark.
Yeah,
You
man,
know?
or at least put it out of its misery. Like,
Yeah.
you know, don't have it suffer for
Yeah.
you know, like it's you know, I don't know, man. Yeah, like I mean, that whole topic is a rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
Like ethical meat eating, and then yeah. Ethan, sorry, man. I'm gonna pull it right here. We just kind of went off on a little ramble.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, this was definitely a sober conversation as
Yeah,
well as a hungover conversation.
Thanks for having me though. You know.
Yeah,
I
no,
had fun.
pleasure, man. If I can
sure.
come on like anytime, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when Kaks should be opening up soon, and we'll I'm eager to get us doing podcasts out of the actual
Oh
studio.
yeah,
And
that'll be fun. That'll be so sick. We'll
yeah.
celebrate. We'll get some food. We'll get some food on the podcast too.
Yeah. or we'll just drink like
Yeah.
the way we drank last
Well,
night.
zero nemesis. Yeah, whatever beer. Bandit Peak. Whatever draft.
Yeah. We
Guess who? Maybe, you know, when we're in the studio, you'll probably see what kind of beer.
We're gonna plug all of our drinks, all our brewers and everything like that. We have a cool draft list coming up, man. I'm super excited. I'm sure everyone will enjoy it. I will never overserve.
Nope.
You know,
absolutely not. Ever.
Yeah, I'll never, because it just goes back to our conversation.
Exactly.
I'm going to find that nice fine line to make sure everyone has fun, and that that this is all done for the right good reasons.
Yeah,
it's not the bad reasons here.
The line fixes everything.
What fixes everything?
The line.
Okay.
Outline.
Oh God, I was sitting there like, my God, Ethan.
The line fixes everything. Don't you worry.
Okay, on that note, oh geez, maybe we should have drank for this podcast.
No, absolutely not. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay, everyone have a good day. Okay, bye.